Hello again. Since we're in the mood for some video readings, I thought I'd share with you my book, Robert. Robert is the principal character in the Fallen Angel series, and he got his own book. He needed to tell his story. It was deliberate to release Robert after Fallen Angel Part 1 and Part 2. I wanted you to love the man before you knew him. So how about we hear a little bit from me? This book actually starts when he's a child and takes you to the point where he meets Brooke Styles. So it's a prequel to Fallen Angel Part 1. However, a lot of readers have enjoyed it at any point during the series. I'll start. The house was empty when I arrived home from school. I fished out the key attached by a piece of string to the inside of my blazer pocket. I wasn't surprised to find myself alone. It was quite normal. I shrugged off my blazer and unclipped the red striped tie we were made to wear, hanging them neatly on the banister. I made my way to the kitchen, dropped my bag on the floor and opened the fridge. There was a piece of cheese as hard as a brick, a half-empty tin of beans and a carton of milk. I sniffed the milk. I'd learned over the years that if you had a certain smell, it wouldn't taste nice. It seemed fine, so I poured it over some slightly soft cereal in a bowl. I switched on the TV and waited. They never came home. I must have fallen asleep on the sofa and it was dark outside when I was awoken by a knock at the front door. The room was illuminated only by the flickering screen of the TV. I waited until there was a second knock before I made my way to the hall. I wasn't normally allowed to open the door, but maybe it was them. Maybe they had forgotten their door key. I looked through the letterbox. Someone outside bent down so their eyes were level with mine. "Hello, son. Can you open the door for us?" he asked. He looked like a policeman. I'd seen them before. They came to my school sometimes, and of course I'd seen them on the TV. "My mum says I'm not allowed to open the door to anyone," I said. "Is there an adult with you? Can they open the door?" he asked. "No," I replied quietly. I watched the man stand up, speak to someone behind him before crouching back down. "It's okay, son. We just need to come in and make sure you're all right," he said. "I had my tea," I replied. "I made it myself." "Well, that's good. What did you have?" "Cornflakes," I said. "I like cornflakes." "I like cornflakes too," he replied. "Did you have lots of milk?" Well, that was silly. Of course I had lots of milk. Everyone has lots of milk with cornflakes, don't they? He stood again, and then I saw Nora from next door. She placed her hand on the letterbox, her old creaky legs bent down so she could see through. "Robert, can you open the door, love?" she said. I liked Nora. She gave me sweets sometimes. She would be in the garden pegging out her washing, and she would see me peering over the fence at her. Smiling, she would raise her fingers to her lips, creep back in her house and come out with a packet of boiled sweets. Sometimes they were so sticky I couldn't get the wrapper off. I wasn't allowed sweets normally, bad for your teeth and full of animal stuff, my mum used to tell me. I opened the door, and outside, standing under the little porch light, was Nora and the policeman. There was another coming up the path, a police lady. I stood, blocking the way. "Can we come in, son?" the man asked. At school, my teacher had told me we should always listen and be polite to the police, so I let them pass and followed into the lounge. Nora crouched down to my level. "Robert, is there anyone here with you?" she asked. "No, I'm waiting for my mum and dad. They're normally home by now," I said, shaking a little. Something was wrong. I could sense it. I'd seen the look that passed between the police and Nora just before she ushered me to the sofa and sat next to me. She took my hand in hers, and it felt odd. I don't think anyone had held my hand before. My mum pulled me across the road sometimes by if I wasn't quick enough. I looked at my hand in hers. She had funny bent fingers with long yellowing nails. It looked like she had been gardening again. She had dirty fingertips. "Robert, have you got any aunties, someone who lives nearby?" she asked. I shook my head. I didn't think so. My mum would talk on the phone to people, but no one ever visited us. Unless my dad was around, she never really left the house either. "What about Nanny? Where does she live?" she asked. I thought for a moment. I don't think I have one of those. "Son, how old are you?" the man asked. 6. I'll be 7 in 2 months and 28 days, I replied proudly. I was good at math. Your mum didn't leave anyone here to look after you? He asked. No. I come home from school and sometimes they're out, so I make my own tea. I have reading to do. I can read well now. I picked up my school book to show them. It was one I'd selected from the bookshelf in my class about football, but they didn't seem interested. Nora stood. They huddled together whispering, and I watched them, trying real hard to hear what was being said. Where's my mum? I asked, hating that my voice quivered a little. I was trying to be strong. That's what my mum would have wanted. She hated it if I cried. She'd want me to be strong. Be a man, she would say. I tried to be a man. So that's Robert, part of the Amazon best-selling Fallen Angel series. Again, available in both ebook and as a paperback. So if you're interested, head on over and take a look. You can read pretty much the whole first chapter using the Look Inside feature. Thank you for listening.